Hello there. How are you today? Today I want to address those who are not my fans, I guess. The first thing I want to say is that I am not an Amber Heard supporter. I am Team JD all the way. I watched the entire trial, every minute of it, and saw what a lying liar she is. Anywho, I wanted to give you a little bit of backstory for those who didn't watch the very awkward live I did. I'm not comfortable in front of a camera. I'm really more comfortable behind it, which you can see by this picture. That's kind of how I would view the internet, sort of behind a curtain of hair. So my history of Popcorn Planet and my experiences, I explored in a series of blog posts starting like last Valentine's Day, or shortly thereafter. I found the channel because I was looking for coverage on the Gabby Petito situation, and I sampled a variety of channels. And the reason why I came to YouTube is because I've known for decades that the mainstream media lies. They don't report facts, or they twist them to support a narrative. They basically sell out to the highest bidder. And I wanted something a little bit more personal, I guess. And I sampled a variety of channels. I think I already said that. Sorry if I did. And decided that I liked Popcorn Planet. I mean, his current fans can probably identify with that. I liked it because the facade that Andy puts on of being affable and sincere. Um, I mean, he's good at what he does. I mean, he's very good at what he does. I'll give him props for that. But I also liked the chat, the live stream chats. I liked the people that I met in there for the most part. Um, I liked the moderators. Although, to be honest, I wasn't all that familiar with other ones, but I dipped into a few, and the ones that were busy, it was like the Wild West in there. And I thought that Andy's channel, it was a little bit more tempered, something like that. And so eventually I paid for a membership, and I did the whole super chats. I downloaded Cash App. I did all the things, as Emily D. Baker would say. I did all the things. I shared his videos. I I kept saying I didn't want to be a moderator, and then I was made one, and I was later told, well, you could have turned it down. Well, it was touted as something that was an honor, and so I treated it that way. The rules in the chat were to respect the hosts and the co-hosts and the guests and each other. That's a simple rule to follow, right? Or it should be. And that's what I did. And I assume the same held true when I had joined the Popcorn Planet public chat, which is now private. I'm not sure about private public chat. Whatever. if we got somebody in there that was spamming, or I would DM an admin of the chat so that they could come in and delete it. Again, I did all the things. And so when everything that happened, as it was happening, I should say, I did a series of blog posts. Now, the first one is, it's not drama, it's dangerous. I stole that from Swoop. She's got some excellent, excellent documentaries. I'll put a link to her channel down below. Because I was trying to warn Andy and his head mods, because I was concerned about the community. Now, this community they were trauma and abuse survivors that were brought together during the Gabby case. And so, I acknowledge that when a large group comes together, there's bound to be some chafing. And I thought that we were able to have open and honest civil discourse, which I thought was encouraged, until it wasn't. And, we're allowed to feel how we feel, think what we think, and say what we like, as long as we're civil. Calling people out in public just because you're feeling touchy isn't cool, especially in a group of survivors. Now, of course, you may decide, well, you're feeling touchy with all these videos you've done on Andy. Yeah, well, I'm doing it in my own little space, on my channel, in my blog. I'm not going into his channel, his chats, and saying nasty things there. And honestly, I don't think what I've said has been truly nasty. I mean, I've seen some things being said, and I've had a lot tossed at me. And I try to remain respectful and give credit where it's due, because that's the kind of person I am. In spite of what the comments that people have made on my videos and, at me on Twitter. So, what happened, which I may or may not get into, I don't know, but I thought it was better relegated to a middle school playground. Somebody was taking screenshots in private chats and sharing them with Andy and Lewis and stuff, the head mods. They were bits and pieces clipped out and shared in order to create, well, I guess, a narrative that sort of slammed down on the community within Nerd Report's Telegram chat. While a fellow mod and I were trying to help another mod, Wancho, who has his own channel, The Ravens Flock. He's had the channel for 10 years and was having a subathon. He wanted to get up to 600 subscribers, and we were trying to help. And we abruptly found our links to his channel, or to the live stream, deleted. And the statement made about, we're only allowing links to the big four: Andy, Lewis, Steph, and Jody. Um, and that's it. And I'm like, well, but Juan he's one of us. I didn't understand. And then I was told, well, we don't have time to vet links. I guess I am getting into it. All right. I'm like, well, what links? I mean, I didn't put it like this, but I was thinking, what links? There was hardly any activity in the chat. I mean, it was mostly just, sharing when Lewis or Andy or Steph went live and or made videos, post uploaded videos. Um, a couple of folks in the chat were Twitch gamers, and so when they were live streaming a game, they would post a link, and then the one that we shared to to Juan's channel. That was it. I'm like, well, I mean, the links that went to the Twitch stream, when you clicked on it, it was like this stream is ended because that's what happens with Twitch. What was there to vet? It was like, all right, fine, whatever. And then he, uh, as an example, they had a screenshot of one of the Twitch streamers' links. Well, actually, two of them. It's, stuff like this, and I was like, well, but she's a very sweet girl. Why are you making an example out of her? That's not fair. And then I was abruptly removed from the group. That was it. That was the whole thing. Um, and apparently the Andy and Lewis talked to each other, and Lewis apologized to the person that posted the Twitch stream, and to the other mod, and said, "Okay, it was just a misunderstanding. It's fine. Come back." But guess which one wasn't contacted and apologized to? Yes, that would be me. The only one that was actually removed rather than just left. To my knowledge, none of us went back. Anyway, so back to this. Coping mechanisms. Now, Swoop's is pettiness, and mine might well be sarcasm and a bit of passive aggressiveness thrown in. So, and working on self awareness is a good thing. Running into behaviors that are upsetting, especially if it happens over and over, you realize that the universe is shining a light on your own inadequacies. It's nobody else's problem but yours. Learn to see where others are coming from. Find a safe space to vent if need be. Figure out if you want to be right or happy. I'll give you a hint. Happiness is the way to go. Engaging with somebody who needs to be right is exhausting. Okay, so I go on. What people think of me is none of my business. That these are me problems. Don't demand respect if you can't return it. I give respect until it's time not to. It's as simple as that. Don't be a passive aggressive bully. I hate the whole us versus them mentality. It was like those I hate so and so groups from middle school. If you have a problem with another's behavior, either talk to them and work it out or just exit the relationship. Tossing out words like slander is simply a way to whip people into a frenzy when the situation is more like a tempest in a teapot, making mountains out of molehills. Much ado about nothing. Yeah. See what happened after people left Lewis's chat and he made his statement. I guess he made a statement and I got kicked out as he went into Steph's chat and talked about how people were slandering him in other groups. Now, personally, I never saw any of this. I was not a member of these private chats. So I didn't know what he was talking about. I It was ridiculous. The whole thing was completely ridiculous. So triggers, slander, and so-called evidence. I can't help but be unhappy that a group of folks who went through horrid things are now being tossed under the bus. When you're amongst a group of survivors, you need to be careful of what you say and do. Triggering words are a thing. So is triggering behavior. When you toss around words like slander, you're on a slippery slope. People are allowed to have opinions and to question behavior. Honest and open communication is key, especially when dealing with those who have undergone trauma. And please keep your so-called, quote, evidence to yourself. Cherry-picking comments, using the royal we and all of that is very disingenuous. This is the opposite of civil discourse and paves the way to rumors and innuendo. Nobody needs this. Don't make promises you can't keep. Survivors need stable platforms. Don't promise something that you have no idea how to fulfill. Stringing people along is just wrong. If you decide to go in a different direction, just say so. Adults should behave like adults. Don't be dismissive of other people's problems and emotion. Keep in mind the old adage, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. I would add a caveat, and that sometimes saying not nice things can serve the greater good, which I strive for with this blog. Sometimes saying not nice things can serve the greater good, which I strive for. And that pretty much sums up not just the blog, but this channel. So I conclude this particular post, Dangerous Waters. Many people have survived trauma and abuse. These people need to have a voice, and when they're denied because of petty childish squabbles, it does a great disservice. It also adds additional trauma and abuse. Why would anybody think indulging in such behavior is a good idea? Do better. Okay, I'm at over 17 minutes now, so I can't go through all of these in a single video. It would just be too long and more boring than my other videos. Yes, I was told that by somebody. Or silly. Actually, I don't mind silly. I actually tout better living through silliness, so I'm fine with that. Anyway, thank you for indulging me today. I guess I should say, hit the like, hit the subscribe, share the video if you want. And I love and I appreciate you all, and I wish you nothing but peace. Goodbye.